Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another BDE podcast. My name is Stephen Hawley. I'm here in the studio with my main man, Shelton. Long neck, cold beer, never broke his heart walker. My goodness, Shelton, how are you today, my friend?
I'm fantastic. You're like Bruce Buffer for intros. I freaking love it. It's like I got my own little Bruce Buffer in the studio.
It's okay. I'm just excited to be here.
I'm just excited to be here.
I'm excited for the casters to be here.
All right, guys, we have a jam-packed show today. We've got Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather reactions. Because obviously, right, that was the kickoff to the show. So we got to talk about that. We've got a new segment.
We do.
BDE Moments.
BDE Moments. And we'll talk a little bit about how that parlays into what this podcast is about.
Exactly. And then we've got another segment, which is part of the BDE Moments. I don't want to ruin anything yet. And then we got some other good stuff going on today, which I'm excited about.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. Something we didn't do last time. And that's on us. We kept saying BDE. BDE's all over the logo. It's on everything. Because I had a couple people ask, well, what's BDE? You and I, we were just assumed that
everyone would know.
Everyone would know. And I think most people did know. I think everyone figured it out.
We have it, so we just assume everybody has it, or at least
understands it. Exactly. But we wanted to take a minute to explain it. Okay, so BDE is big dick energy. All right, obviously. But listen, I want to explain this in a certain way. Okay, cool. So people understand what it is. So how the best way that I think about it, when I told you about it, kind of my vision with it, right, is I believe we should all have a sense of confidence, right, in ourselves, cockiness, yes. Right? We believe, hey, I can get this done, right? That's where BDE comes from, right? Well, why BDE? If you're going into a club, right, you're in your 19, 21, 22, you're vibing, right? You're trying to pick up a girl. What's up with it? You know what I'm saying? If you get a 9-inch dick walking into that club, the confidence is going through the roof.
Of course.
It doesn't matter if she says no. It doesn't matter if she says you, because you know. I'm just gonna go to the next one. I know what I'm working with, right? Unlimited confidence.
Absolutely.
Right? So if we have that mindset in anything we approach with life, we're vibing.
Then here we are.
We get BDE all the time.
Every day.
So that's the goal with this podcast, with this whole thing, is to create this brand of be yourself, be confident. You know what I'm saying? Walk into that bar, walk into that conference room, walk into that sporting event, walk into whatever you're walking into with that 9-inch dick.
Absolutely.
Every single time. Whether you have it or not. you act like you have it.
Look, it's the energy. It's not the BD have. It's the BD energy.
Exactly.
So even if you don't have, it's about the energy. It's about you putting your best foot forward.
Exactly.
And just knowing that you can get anything done.
Exactly. Speaking of having that ultimate BDE energy, we're going back to LP and Mayweather, Logan Paul.
I think we have to. There's been some noise in the system post fight.
Yeah, it's a little annoying. So I want to talk about first the results, your thoughts, and who do you think won?
Okay. Well, I mean, look.
You did predict the fight, by the way. To a
pretty
T.
well.
To
pretty
a T.
well. He danced around for the first few.
And then started to attack.
He got a couple of shots landed on him, though. I mean,
absolutely.
Logan Paul got a couple in there in that first round.
Couple haymakers.
Yes, but they were haymakers. And again,
just complete swinging on him.
A technical fighter is only going to let a couple of those get through.
Yep.
And then, of course, his experience just kind of let him get past.
So I called a knockout in round 2 or 3.
You did,
which I fully anticipated. I don't think it was a completely.
But it would have been a haymaker that did it.
That's what I was going for. I didn't realize. I knew this. I've heard this, and I knew it, but I didn't want to believe it.
Okay.
Mayweather's a cheetah in the ring. My goodness, that man is fast, dude.
He is quick.
I cannot believe. I remember him being fast from when I watched him against Pacquiao, and I know he's fast. But my God.
A lot of folks think that he's fast with his hands. Like he's a fast puncher. His footwork is unbelievable.
Dude,
there were times where Logan had him in the corner, and I think this is an experience issue for Logan. Don't get me wrong. But Logan had him in the corner.
He's 0-1-1.
Yes. So it's certainly an experience issue for Logan. Sure. But that being said, he had him in the corner. And if you're a boxer, once you get them there, you've got them locked in. That's where you want a boxer to be, is in that corner, especially somebody as fast as Mayweather. And he kept letting him out.
Yeah.
And you give somebody.
I don't think he let him out. I think Mayweather just
knows how to get out of the corner. So look, and that's what we talked about last week, is the guy is so technically sound. And it's not just with his punches, it's not with his blocking technique. It's just across the board. Like his balance is good. His footwork is good. He's
comfortable.
Everywhere. And he knows exactly where he is. And that's what kind of leads to why he is so fast.
Yeah.
There's not a spot in that ring he hasn't been in a million times.
Where he knows where to go, where he's stepping.
It's
like a shooter knowing where the three-point line is.
Right.
Something I want to get out, and then we'll move on because I don't want to take too much time. It's kind of old news at this point.
Well, except for the new news, but we'll
talk about that. But we've had a lot of discussion the days after the fact with people at work and things like that, and everyone's saying that Mayweather beat his ass and destroyed him and whatever. What people listen? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die by this. Okay,
go on.
Logan Paul won. Okay, you go 8 rounds. Listen, you go 8 rounds. You can tell me your thoughts here in a minute. But you go 8 rounds with considerably the greatest boxer pound for pound of all time, and don't get knocked out. And again, I understand it's an exhibition. I understand the points. I understand all of these things. Logan Paul won the first 2 rounds. I don't care what anybody says.
I would agree with that.
Round 3 was definitely Mayweather's. Round 4 was a toss-up. But I'm not going to get into the technicality. It's what it is. The fact of the matter is he went 8 rounds. Okay? Everyone's like, well, he didn't do this. Bro, the guy's 0-1-1. Like, what do we... For the fact that we're even having the conversation on who may or may not have won, or for the fact that we're arguing about it, tells you that Logan Paul won. Moving into our new, and hopefully probably will be, one of my favorite segments to come and to continue. We created this segment a while back.
Correct.
And we were completely jazzed up about it. And we forgot about it the first episode, but now we're here.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about, look, we talked about what BDE is.
Correct.
And what
now you guys know.
Means, the mindset, exactly, what we're trying to convey here with the cast for all you folks. But then I think we would be remiss if we're not pointing out
the moments,
the
BDE moments.
BDE moments.
We talked about there's a lot of them at the March Madness. Minshew has a lot of them.
Yep, absolutely.
And people talk about it, but we don't. There's not a name for it, right?
You see them, and you know when it happens that wow, that's just one of those. You know what? It's the opposite of what ESPN does, called "Come On Man."
Sure.
Come On Man is where somebody has made a silly, epic failure.
Yes. And it's not top 10 highlights. We're not talking about and now sometimes it could be depending on how it outplays itself.
But this is a different set. This is a mindset. This is somebody who is going into a scenario. It's their normal day to day, but they're doing it on such a high level. They're doing it with such a level of confidence that it qualifies as a BDE moment.
So we have 3 top BDE moments from this past week and a half.
Yeah.
First one, this is not first. We're going from third to second to first. I'm going to pull it up now. It is Simone Biles, okay, the gymnast. She took it upon herself to throw a little goat on her shoulder. Rightfully slow. Rightfully so.
Show.
I love this, and a lot of people loved it. There wasn't too much hate for it, which I was glad.
It's subtle. It's subtle.
It's subtle, but also it's in your face. And look, to claim yourself as the GOAT, massive BDE.
Massive.
Right? I don't even think Tom talks about it that much, really. And we all know Tom.
TB12?
Yeah, Tom 12. Yeah, Tom Brady. I don't think he talks about it that much, right?
No, he knows.
He knows, but he's not wearing it like that,
no.
Right? So to me, I love this. Especially with just the female sports in general, it's not as popular, right? They're not as cocky, I guess you could say. I love that she's owning this because she knows she's a bad B.
Yeah,
and she's showing it here. So I'm all for it.
So would that be BBE?
I think just bad bitch energy.
Yeah.
We might.
Do we have a ladies cast on?
We might have a segue here.
I think we might have just sprinkled in.
We'll side table this and we'll see where this could go.
Definitely be a post cast conversation.
But I like it. We got a whole other thing kicking here, a whole other leg growing, as one would say.
So basically, we're on our 3rd leg at this point.
Fourth, because. All right, the next segment, or the number 2nd spot. I actually saw this live. We were talking about this a few weeks ago. Kevin Pillar, player for the Mets, got smashed with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball to the grill, right to the face. Broke his nose, completely destroyed it.
I mean, just a geyser coming out of this guy's face.
I mean, we watched it. it happened so fast and so quick. The surrender cobra just happened in the entire arena. Like everybody went to it.
Everyone surrender cobra.
Yep. And that was a good, I would say
4 weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe like a little under a month. Right around, because I had just moved in, so probably right a month ago. You're right.
I think so.
And
we were on the phone, I think, when it happened.
We were.
I remember your wife coming in and screaming your name,
yes.
like, "Come watch this!"
Yes, we rewinded it. Yes. So this was June 10th. So this was 3 days ago, and he brought out that bat, the bloody bat. His face is still jacked up.
Oh my gosh! It still has the blood on the bat.
The blood from that moment, and he hit
not know
2 freaking homers with it. I mean, if this isn't BDE segment, guys.
Welcome to BDE, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how else do you describe
what's crazy? This
that?
is number 2. This isn't even the number 1 spot.
Oh, this isn't even number 1.
This is number 2. So it only gets better from here. So that was pretty incredible. So now there might be a little bias on this first one, but I asked you, and you were cool with it.
Well, yeah, we talked about it pre-cast.
We had this. There's no way you overlook this.
You can't.
It's a whole other level that I think most people aren't going to be able to understand how great of a feat this is.
Correct. And I want to give everybody the breakdown of what he did. But then I want to associate it just a little bit about some of the accomplishments that you've had.
Sure.
Which are not anywhere near similar.
Not even close.
But
I'm excited about mine, but nothing like this.
Right.
This man is James Lawrence, a.k.a. the Iron Cowboy, a.k.a. the GOAT, a.k.a. the man, a.k.a. the man, myth, and legend. Okay? He completed 100 Ironmans, 100 triathlons in 100 days in a row.
It makes me feel inadequate.
In a row.
So
real quick, an Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim,
yep.
a 112 mile bike ride, followed by a light marathon run, which is 26.2 miles.
Oh, just a light trot.
Just a light trot.
After you've done the other 2 things.
This takes anywhere, I think he took around 10 to 12 hours for each race. So 12 hours of his day was spent moving, exercising,
yes.
working extremely hard for 100 days in a row.
My first question is why? What do we know what prompted him to say? Did he have a job? What happened before?
He got the name Iron Cowboy because he did 50 Ironmans in 50 days in 50 states.
Got it.
So people think like, oh, they had all these Ironmans set up. No, he did the distance. He just did the actual Ironman because it's a triathlon, but the distance itself is what creates an Ironman. So the first one he did, it was in 50 days, all in a row again. Started in Alaska, started in Hawaii, flew to Alaska, and then just drove through all the states and completed this feat, which gave him the name of Iron Cowboy. Because this is Iron Man, but he's a cowboy because he wore a cowboy hat during the races, right? So he created this whole mantra persona during this first feat.
Just sweating BDE at this point.
Completely sweating BDE. An absolute icon, a hero, for sure. Raised a lot of money in both events because, just the awareness that he got from it. Absolutely incredible.
So he just completed this
like
2 or 3 days ago.
2 or 3 days ago.
His last race of the 100.
100. You know what he did the day after? The 100th one?
Eat a pizza? I don't
know.
No,
he did another one.
Just because he was bored?
Yeah. So he did 101, actually. Not even 100. He did 101 Ironman in 100 days. I think where the 100th one came from, because when he did the 100th one, there's a ton of people there. A lot of people rode with him. A lot of people swam with him. Like, it was this big event, right?
It's like with all the people who were following Bubba running.
Yeah, Forrest Gump. Yes. So
Forrest.
So the last one was huge, and I think he wanted to do one where it was just like one last one by myself with my people. It's kind of that vibe that I got. I haven't really seen much him saying, "Hey, here's why I did it." And 2, stopping is not easy. He posted a video just the other day. I was watching it where he was like, "I'm really foggy right now. I'm kind of in a weird space. I'm headed to the doctors now to see like any stress on my body, like what happened." And it's watching him talk. I was like, it's gonna be hard to come from that.
So let's talk about that a little bit. You completed an Ironman.
Yep.
What, roughly about a year ago?
No, not yet. About 8 months ago.
Okay.
7 or 8 months ago.
What type of training goes into preparing your body for an Ironman? And again, just for everybody out there, it's how long is the swim?
2.4 miles.
And then the bike?
It's 112.
And then the run is 26.2.
Yep, marathon.
Okay. So
it's basically every great distance for those 3 sports.
I got you. And I was present around you while you were training for that. But just talk a little bit about some of the nuances and things that happened when people weren't around that you had
Sure.
to put yourself through in order to get yourself ready for that.
So it becomes more of a lifestyle than an actual like training. You do it every day.
Right.
There's a lot of so something that I'm concerned like with him is you go to a lot of dark places when you're training and when you're actually doing it. 'Cause you have to. You got to just turn everything off. No feelings, no emotions, because your body is such. You got to dial it in on what you're eating, right?
Sure.
When you eat something, it impacts your training. So everything you eat, you're putting in your body has an impact on you. So you're constantly thinking about what you need to eat, constantly thinking about recovering and taking care of yourself. So this mental state that's the hardest part that people can't see and you can't really grasp or understand how to train your mind, right? Your body is just, it's a muscle group. So it starts just to kind of do its own thing. So 101 days, like you become in a rhythm, right? Your body just knows what to do when it wakes up, but it's the mind that gets really flustered. You can ask a lot of people around me. I was a dick. Nobody wanted to be around me for the last.
I was around you. I wasn't gonna go there, but yeah, you were a little grumpy.
Yeah, it was just.
I remember a fishing trip that we tried to take with you, and
just moody.
Yeah, you were just a little bit of an asshole the entire time.
Yeah, because you're constantly thinking about what you're gonna have to go do. I
Yep.
mean, you're training 15 hours a week. It's just it's grueling.
So when you were done, and if anybody who can't see it, there's a picture behind you of you crossing the finish line.
Yep.
Which BDE all day.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about like what he's mentioned and what he's going through, like after you were done.
Yeah. So when you finish, I was actually telling myself the other day when I was training, I had more of those like moments of like excitement of cheer, because when you're training, I'm visualizing when I was running, I'm visualizing finishing, hearing Mike Riley saying, "Joe Walker, you are an Iron Man," right? And that's going through my veins as I'm running. I got the music pumping, and I'm getting emotional as I'm training. The day of, I don't recall having that much of like I was excited, but it was you're so drained at this point.
You've basically done them already, right? I mean, haven't you essentially done an Ironman at that point? By the
Not
time
all together. You've done it over 3 days.
Right.
Yeah. So you have this huge moment of buildup of just endorphins running through your body, right? Like leading up to it, you're excited. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, you're an Ironman at a certain point. And I think probably my biggest moment, I was by myself, and I heard everybody at the finish line, and there was one guy standing at the right, like it was pitch black. I got finished pretty late. It took me 16 hours. So I was by myself at this last point here. Like the last 3 miles, I walked by myself. Met my mom for a little bit. She walked with me, and then the last little like quarter of a mile, it was like a long little trail. And all my family, like Caitlin and my friends that came there all at the end, right? Well, I had this moment by myself, and it was really, really dark. And this guy goes, "You're almost there." And I go, "I'm a fucking Iron Man, baby."
Let's
like
go.
It hit me, right? Like I knew I've got this. And to me, like, it's crazy. It's like I have this picture here, but that wasn't the moment. It was before, there was nobody around but that one random person that I have no idea.
Right.
Right. So that happens. And then after the fact, it's like, now what?
Right.
Right. You kind of go home. I ate a lot, which I was happy to eat, like whatever I wanted and not cared. I got a little fat, which is whatever. But you like, I was happy. It was cool. Like I was happy to be done with it. It felt good, and I was really happy. But then there was a moment there where I was kind of like dull, because it's like
a lot of open space to fill.
Yeah, like it's just your mental. It's a weird mental drawback, food wise and physical wise. That's another thing, but like the mental part of it was weird to overcome.
And I can only imagine what he's going through.
Dude, it's crazy. Like I'm like, he looks good. He looks fine in the face, but I know what from just doing it that one day.
Right.
I mean, dude, you literally turn everything off. You have to. You become a robot.
Almost like PTSD. Like
yeah.
Post-traumatic.
Seriously, like
you've put your body through so much day after day after day, and then they're like, okay, you're done.
Yeah, like your body kind of there's gonna be a little bit of shock. I've seen some videos and you look happy and it looks fine, but I'm like, mentally, dude, it's like.
Well, the problem for him is he's going to have to spend a lot more time with his family and realize.
Well, they were there with him, but yeah, like you gotta be awake and stuff. Bro, he was sleeping like in a freaking cryo chamber or whatever they're called. Yeah. Like the amount of work that he put into this is absolutely insane. I
mean, attaboy. Nothing but respect for the guy. That's crazy.
I'm gonna do everything I can to get this guy on the cast, because it'd be incrable to hear his thoughts. And
just the inspiration that you can get from somebody
who's
that committed and
during my training, I would watch this guy's videos. I would watch it. I watch his documentary. I mean, he's a huge influence on this. So
that's great.
Yes, sir. Last topic of the day. We're gonna get a little heated. This is gonna be for everybody. I want to hear everybody's thoughts in your comments. The greatest trophy of all time. What is it, and why?
Across all sporting events.
Across all sporting events, what is the most iconic, greatest? Just that trophy is something that I would love to have. What is it?
Ooh. Look, I mean, from an American sports standpoint,
Sure.
I don't think anything short of the Lombardi Trophy is gonna win you this contest. Now, look, I love the World Series trophy.
Well, it's a piece of metal,
correct,
according to the commission. So that's off. It's already off the table.
But the World Series trophy is great with the pennants all the way around.
Sure.
It comes with an atmosphere when you get the World Series. There's always champagne flying and things like that.
Cigars.
Yes, and that's
Sure.
and I think between maybe that and the NBA, those are the only two sports that
the
maybe
NBA
hockey.
trophy is trash.
It's garbage. It's
Yeah.
garbage.
I'm trying to think of what it is right now. What does it even look like?
I don't know. I think
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I think that's why it's not even going to pop
Wow.
up on this conversation.
Yeah,
if I can't even tell you what the NBA's trophy for the championship looks like,
What is it? I know the Eastern Conference Final is like a silver ball. Am I crazy right now?
I don't think we're crazy. I think this just tells us that it's that insignificant on the grand scheme.
Oh, I got it. It's right here. I got it on this little replica ring. So basically, it's like this little cylinder with a little nugget at the top. That's supposed to be the basketball. Anyways, back to what we were saying.
That's
irrelevant.
a net, by the way. That's a net.
Oh, okay. Yeah, irrelevant.
It's a net with the but again.
Well, the ball coming in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But again,
irrelevant.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I would say the Lombardi.
Lombardi's number one for you.
I think so. Look, in the Stanley Cup gets a mention. To me, only because when you win the Stanley Cup, the team that wins the Stanley Cup gets to keep the cup for like 2 weeks or something like that. Personally, you get to take it with you home, and then you see pictures of these guys taking it on vacation or floating around in the pool.
So wait, what are you picking?
I'm going with the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, because you just buried yourself a hole. Because it's my turn.
Let's go.
I'm not a big hockey guy.
Right.
I enjoy it. I think it's a great sport. It's fun. But golf, football, baseball, those are my loves. Right. I think the Masters Trophy is great. I think that's kind of an iconic. There's nothing better than the Stanley Cup. And here's why. Partly what you just said, okay? They take it for 2 weeks and they travel, like they pass it around to each player, okay? They do whatever they want with it. They drink out of it. They eat cereal out of it. Like just what comes after the fact, after they win it, it's like basically like their child. They carry it around like each player I think gets like a day or 24 hours or something like that,
yeah.
right?
And then they beat it up though. I mean,
they beat the living shit out of it.
And then they just give it back.
And it has the history on it, right? Because it has all.
They change the bands at the bottom.
The bands that are like
all the way to the top.
The history on that thing, like they got to take it off and put the name in there, and then put it back on and cinch it on there. Not to mention the history of you can't touch it until you win. I love that rule.
That's
when I went to
beautiful.
the Ironman race. They had the red carpet there. And everyone was like, "Hey, go walk on." I was like, "I'm not touching that. It's bad luck."
It is.
I'm not touching that before I win. I get to grace it myself.
I'm gonna earn my BDE.
Exactly.
I'm not touching somebody else's.
It's grand as hell too, dude. It's like 4 layers. I don't know how big. It's massive, right? And it's only one of them that they pass around. The Lombardi, they have duplicates. They hand those things out. They give it everyone.
They do.
Everybody gets it. You don't get to keep this trophy.
No, you get it once. You get it for your one visit. Your sit.
Listen, I'm not a hockey guy, but I can take an L and I can tell you when it's the best trophy of all time and it's the greatest trophy of all time.
Look, I would not argue with that at all.
There's nothing that you can tell me why the Lombardi Trophy is greater, unless you've got it right now. I need you to take a stance. I need you to own it.
I'm going the Lombardi Trophy.
How? But why is it better?
Because the NFL, from a standpoint of sportsmanship, is something that no other country really plays, but they all watch. The Super Bowl is the highest watched sporting event every year.
Okay.
So to be able to say I've got this, the magnitude of the event.
Okay, but hold on. If we're using that argument, and you brought this up, I'm using this against you.
No.
The World Cup has way more viewership.
Correct.
Than any other event. And we didn't even bring that into discussion because a trophy is complete utter dog shit.
And that's the exact opposite. Like for the size of the tournament.
Because I think the trophy doesn't matter for them. Yeah, it's the fact that you won.
Right.
That's way greater. Then they get some medals too.
Yeah, they get some medals.
They get some medals.
And then they get to walk through the audience and like
it's just like a
tiny little thing.
Yeah, it's like a microphone. Like it's.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like completely disrespect the trophy here, but I think that disarms your argument that, hey, well, a lot of people watch it. Okay, well, the World Cup, a lot more people watch that. So
true, but it's
Holly,
the World
0-1.
Cup. The World Cup is every country has a vested interest in their own country, whereas the NFL, the only place they play it is right here. So if the world is watching a sporting event that exists in one country and it's the highest watched event in the world, that trophy seems like it's going to have more traction than the World Cup, where everybody is kind of vested in their own thing.
Okay.
Like why would people in Japan watch the Super Bowl? Who are they rooting for?
Football is exciting. They're not watching, but they're not watching for the trophy though. That doesn't make it the greatest trophy.
It just
I think
to me,
it's just
it makes
the sport,
the gravity of
the
it.
sport maybe a little more entertaining, more people understand it so they can watch it. Right? Hockey isn't the easiest sport to watch simply because you don't know what's happening. A lot of people don't understand the rules. I think based on the things we talked about, just the fact of how they travel with it, right? The history behind it.
I do love that. I do love that. Look, I'm not saying that you're wrong in your assessment.
I know I'm not wrong.
But it's open for discussion off cast. I'll tell you, you're an idiot.
I think the people listening, I don't think you're not giving me a good enough argument to persuade me.
Look, all I'm saying is my pick is Lombardi. And Lombardi, if he would have heard you say this, he would kick your ass. He would.
I don't care how pissed off he is, okay?
Again,
but your trophy's not the best.
I don't know who Sir Stanley is, but I don't know if he could kick Lombardi's ass. I doubt it.
Look, I'm not a hockey guy. I'm football first. But just look at it.
It is prettier.
What we just said though. I mean, the fact that you get to they pass it around, you eat cereal out of it. You can't touch it, right? Like it is a known. Actually, you can't touch the Eastern or the Western trophy either. Is the bigger thing. So when they win the Western Conference Championship or the Eastern Conference Championship, they don't even touch that trophy
until they win it.
Until they win the Stanley Cup, because it's bad luck to touch that thing. Like that thing. That's what makes it even greater is when they win the Eastern and Western, that trophy is irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When the NFL wins the NFC or the AFC, they're holding that thing up with pride. Like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. Woo! They win that thing, dude. They don't even want it in their sight, their line of sight, because it's bad luck. All of these things are just tying in together of making this trophy of this, just like it's the statue of just greatness.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with your argument. Like
you are, and I'm not happy about it. Okay.
Look, if Vince Lombardi heard you,
I don't care about Vince right now. Okay, he's not here. No, he's not here, and you're not doing a good job.
I'm doing an amazing
defending
job
him.
I'm telling you, like the fact that you can hold the Lombardi Trophy up, and you've got as many people watching that game as you do every year. I just feel like there's just a little bit of gravity there.
We want to know your thoughts.
What's that?
I said we want to know their thoughts, the audience.
That's what the comments are for.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
Who's right? Who's wrong?
Or if you
I'm
have
right.
I'm
right.
If you have another opinion that will be wrong, please place that in there below.
Something.
Yeah, maybe we did. I mean, we got tennis. They have the frisbee that they hand out. I don't think that's going to be in there. The Masters is pretty cool.
Yeah, with the jacket along with the trophy itself.
Yeah, the trophy is just the clubhouse. I mean, something that I don't honestly till like probably 3 or 4 years ago, I didn't even know they got a trophy. I thought it was just a green jacket, which I think
a lot of people do.
Yeah, which deletes the fact that it's the greatest trophy of all time because you don't even know what they get for it.
I want to say the English Premier League, they get like a pretty hefty
They get a medal. I don't even know what it is. Nobody cares. Yep, you're done.
Whatever.
Okay. Let us know what you guys think. That is it for today's episode. I think it was another great BDE episode 2.
Stoked.
We're excited for what's to come. Thank you guys again for stopping by. Until next time, I'm Sheldon.
And I'm Holly.
Boogity boogity.
Woo. Hey. Yeah. Tell 'em ready, set. Check the field, let it build.